What's up? We're building the chicken coop. Here's the base. We're starting out with some deck blocks is what they're called. So that gets our posts off the ground so when water comes, our posts don't rot right away. It's also giving us a little extra elevation. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a door on that side to reach in and grab the chicken eggs. We're going to do a double door. We're going to have a door inside this door so we can slide it up and the chickens can get out. And then it'll be able to close, and then we'll also be able to open it big so we can get in. Chicken eggs I think are going to be on this side, and then we'll have a feeder on this side. So we'll show you that later. I'm just putting up a few more screws into these support joists. So that's going to help hold them in place since we're not going to use a joist hanger. So once we get these supports in, then we're going to put the floor on, then we'll build the walls. And we've got the siding material right over there. We'll put the sidings on and that's going to be the roofing material over there. It'll look a lot like if you turn around and what our watershed looks like. Very similar to that, except it'll be for chickens. And then our run's going to be out this way. They can go in between the trees. And they got tree cover from the hawks a little bit up there. So hopefully that'll help protect them. We'll see you in a little while. All right, we've got our floor of our chicken coop has been nailed on. We attached some braces, angle braces. So this thing is super sturdy.
Oh heck nah! Take this!
As you can see, he's trying to break it right away. Alright, we made this chicken proof, not adult proof. Not crazy kid proof. Alright, so the next step after this is to move the dirt back around these deck blocks so they can't slide around. Having these two sides dug inside deeper, it's not going to move anywhere. Anyways, we're going to build a wall up about 3'6" on one side. We'll get the roof on, and then later on, if we want to put netting on, we'll put netting over the top.
If
we're going to be putting fencing around, but most of the fencing stuff we aren't going to have to do until our chicks get bigger, because we're going to start with baby chicks right now. But we're going to have a roof on top of this.
Oh yeah, and these. You definitely want if they are on different things, definitely dig them into the ground and make sure you level it. If you do not level it, your eggs will probably fall. Roll
Well,
around.
you want to have the whole coop to be level. We dug these into the ground. There's two things you can do. If you've got long boards, I just use scrap wood, so I made sure that I dug these to the exact depth that I wanted them to make sure that it was level. Otherwise, your post can be longer or shorter. So you just have longer posts, and before you put this on, you could have the post sticking up above this, and then you just raise this up to the level that you need it to get it to be level, and then you screw it into the post, and then you can cut the post off at the height you need it to be. But I did it differently because we only had these lengths of posts left over from other jobs, so we made them first, and then we just dug the deck blocks into the ground. So that's all you need. We're using mostly scrap wood. This was left over from when we built our house. I'm going to be using the bed frame that I made for my kids when they were younger. I had a bunk bed that I made out of a bunch of white wood, and that'll be my internal framing. Bye bye, bunk bed.
It's not even whatever. And one more thing. The fence should be wide, because the more room they give, the more way they'll be able to
The more
move.
bugs that they can go and get. There's
Yes.
more places that they can go around and find bugs, because they definitely like to eat bugs. We like them. They're going to eat ticks and everything else, so they'll eat whatever bugs are around. We're going to be throwing our healthy food scraps to them.
And
So
eggs.
they like to eat pretty much anything.
Eggs give them make their shells better, make their yolks better and stuff.
Yeah, you give them the egg shells because that's the calcium that helps make their eggs stronger, the shells stronger. But we also will be giving them some oyster shells. Oyster shells are great to help their shells be stronger. And then they also need a little grit that you feed them too. If you don't have grit, the chickens, they don't chew their food, they don't have teeth. So they have grit inside their gizzards, and that's what mushes up their food for them. So you got to have grit, you got to have oyster shells, and then you got to give them some food too. So we'll see you later. All right, we framed up our walls. Remember, if you're going to do this and you want to have sloped roof, the short side has to be shorter than the tall side. Common sense. So what I did with this side is I made it so that I'm going to have the siding come over here. Siding's going to go from down here where our framing is all the way up to the top, so it holds it together in case it gets strong wind. Now we'll have a nesting box in here and in here inside. This side had to make sure I kept from here to here is 48 inches or less, so we can cut one sheet in half and use it on both sides. So we only needed 3 sheets of 4x8 for siding. On this side, we're going to be having some vents that we're going to cut in up at the top. We're also going to have some vents cut in on that low side so the chickens get airflow. And then this side, you can see we didn't build this wall yet because I want to get the nesting box in here. I want to get the roosting sticks in there. I'm going to be using some of these, the tree that's down here. We're going to cut that into a few pieces. Anyways, then the roof is going to go on. We put our framing on for our roof. We've got a sheet already pre-cut to size for our roof. And then we'll be able to put the actual roofing material on top of the wood to protect that. So we'll be back once we get the next set done. Alright, we finished up all the outside framing, so we're going to be ready for siding and everything. I did a double king jack over here on both sides for the door opening. We put a header in just to give us a little strength over the door. So this whole panel is going to open up. So we got the nesting boxes in there. That's all framed up. I got it screwed up against the wall. I got some supports underneath. Over here we got our roosting sticks. Used some pine trees that we had chopped down. So just stripped the bark off of those. I got that in the video. We put some PVC paneling down here underneath where the roosting is, so when they poop down there it won't destroy the floor. So all we got left, we're going to put the roof, the siding on, and then I'm going to cut out a window or two and put some venting in, because you want to make sure you have good venting in a chicken coop so it doesn't get too much moisture in there. So we'll see you in a little while. Got this wall on, we got a little window in there, just see some plexiglass. Just make sure you pre-drill it bigger than your hole and use a washer head. We got the siding on this side. Got two vents cut out up there. Siding on this side. Didn't put any vents up in this corner because that's where the chickens are going to be roosting over there. And I don't want it to get too cold for them, or not necessarily cold, but wind blowing on them. When it gets colder, that could cause them some trouble. Anyways, this is the last side. I just wanted to show you this before I put it on. So you can see the room that the chickens are going to have underneath the nesting boxes. And then I had this PVC board that I put down underneath the roost, so then they can poop on that and help protect the boards over here. And we'll put down wood shavings underneath all that, help absorb the moisture. And when I get done putting this panel on up here, I'll put a few vents, at least two vents here, and then I may end up putting a vent, maybe one on this side, but we'll see. I just want to make sure it doesn't get too breezy where the chickens are going to be roosting, because they won't like that when it gets really cold out. Alright, we'll be back. So I marked out two vent openings, so we're going to cut those out. I'll show you what it looks like once I get them cut out, and I'll show you once we have the venting in. Okay, so we got these two cut out. That leaves us a stud in the middle there. That's where the cutout is that long. You can see venting on that side. So I may put one in that back corner. That will give us airflow all the way through, but not directly on that roost. Vents are installed. I got the roofing panels up there, but they still need to be screwed down. I did add an extra vent on this end over here. Figured it'd be better to have more airflow to get the moisture out of there than to not. I got the door panel just sitting there. I'll put hinges on here tomorrow. A couple spots. Put a couple latches. Probably add a window in the door, but we'll see about that. So I still got to make the little slide up for the chickens to walk out of, and then add the ramp coming down to the ground. Alright, we got her all finished up. We added some windows, give us a little natural light. We got all our vents on. Got our ramp walking up for the chickens. And we actually have a slide up door, and I've got latches here. This latch will hold it open. So I put a double lock system on so that raccoons can't get it open. This one actually screws up tight so it locks. So then when we hold it open for the day, chickens can go in and out. If you look, we got another window here and a little window over here, so we get lots of natural light. Just gonna put my latches back on here. That one's gotta get straight down. There we go. Alright, so we got a double latch on these ones too. Actually only have a double on the very bottom one. So here's the inside of the coop. We already put a little pine shreddings in. Got electrical in there. Ran that wire all the way down in the protective tubing in the ground. It's run all the way underneath here. We've got a U shape over here to make sure water can't get into the line, and then we plug it into our outlet. So that's how we got power in our chicken coop. So that's the chicken coop for now. We're gonna be getting some fencing. What I'm gonna use is deer fencing. We're gonna go in between, go along that edge of the trees, around the coop. So they're gonna have a good sized area. They can go around and pick all the bugs out of here. And if we want to down the road, we'll add some chicken runs. But inside here, those are the nesting boxes where the chickens can lay the eggs.
Yeah, you always gotta put something, because if you don't, then they can break.
Typically, you want to have a nesting box is good to 3 to 4 chickens. So that's how many chickens will end up supposedly using the nesting boxes. So if you go with the 4 number, we got 4, 8. We could have up to 12 chickens laying in there. And we've got the roosting sticks inside. We use those out of some trees that I had cut down. So they got places they can hop up onto at night because they feel more comfortable.
And then they're just gonna poop over there.
Alright, so slow down with moving the camera. I don't want people to get seasick. Did we show you the baby chicks yet?
Yeah, let's show them.
Let's show them the baby chicks. We're going to actually put them in the chicken coop today, I think. Because they're starting to get too big for the dog kennel that week. So we've had the baby chicks for 1 week. I don't know if this is too warm. And they're trying to be cool. None of them seem to be next to the heat or under the lamp, but I just moved it up today, so we'll see. They're going through 1 thing of water every day. And the food is about every 2 days. Okay, I've moved them into the chicken coop for right now. They still have their home that they're used to. They get their water and their food. But they're probably going to check out their surroundings. So they can go all the way underneath nesting boxes. But they'll come back to where the light is to get their heat. And I'll keep raising it up a little ways until they're full grown, and then I can have the heat lamp only if we get really cold. Otherwise I will change out the heat lamp and just put a regular bulb in. That way I'll probably put the bulb over on this side somewhere, and then I can have that on a timer so they get 12 hours of sunlight all winter long. There we go. Alright, so we're good with that. We'll be back with a part 2 video showing you what we're doing with the fencing. Till then, thanks for watching. Good luck. Go get yourself a chicken coop.